Talking about EU defense, this looks interesting. Flocky, what comment are you replying to?
Welcome back to the Rocket League Championship Series.
I lost my mojo.
Pasha
used to be crazy defense, almost classic American. Like, yeah, America's never had the best defending, in my opinion. Like, people always think, oh, defending, goalkeeping, Gibbs, America, defending, but that's not defending. Like, defending is so much more than sitting in goal. And I'm not bashing Gibbs here. I'm just like showing you the thought process that leads people to believe that American teams are defensive and that European teams are aggressive. No, Flipside are aggressive, but they still defend very well. But they don't defend by sitting in their goal and waiting for the other team to shoot it at them. They defend by breaking up attacks, intercepting passes, just going fast at the ball. Like, you can defend without having to make one save. You can get to the end of a game with 0 saves and be the better defensive team, because there's so much more to defending than sitting in goal and making saves, which is what Gibbs was actually wrongly credited for. Gibbs had so much more to his game than just sitting in goal. Gibbs had really good midfield positioning, great reads on when to move back and intercept a hard clear and when to move forward because the hard clear is not coming. Great ability to challenge the ball. And yeah, Gibbs saying in chat, he sat at midfield to be fair. Yeah, exactly. There's more to defending than sitting in goal.
Pretty well for qualifier number 2. First, let's take a look at the starting 3 for KAPOW.
Sometimes comms are overrated. They are useful, but very often, if overused, they can cause players to question their moves if waiting for an I got it call. To add to that, part of your attention is to transfer into talking, not paying attention to the positions. Well, that becomes automatic if you're good at it. Thank you, James Watt. Yes, tell him to throw more paper. Thank you. I need this. Gibbs was a top 3 player in Cosmic. I would say Gibbs was a top 2 player in Cosmic. I think Gibbs was top 2.
After they get absolutely 4-0'd by Flip.
So Mystic, I would just say it was a potato series for him in that last set. It was rough.
Mystic's always been the worst defender on Mockit, but the stuff that he was able to bring in attack and with his aerials and his rebounds and his goals and his just chaos creation, his shooting was usually better enough to outweigh his defensive mishaps.
Against a team like KAPOW where they're trying to prove something, if they come in strong and they get beat out again, like you saw little glimpses of it, like Pasha would go in demo, and we were talking about how he was going to boost tonight. He was actually
Gibbs was IBP's MVP for the Pro League playoffs.
Keep that up, man. Like that's what you
He scored 5 goals in a single game against the old Crown and Jewels lineup. That was hilarious. Loved that series. I was like, Gibbs! Gibbs again! Gibbs again! Come on, go Gibbs! Score 10 goals!
That's like only 3 goals difference for total goals and only 1 goal's different on the goals against. More clean sheets for KAPOW. I don't know if that really says much, but Mockit had more wins, and they played in week 2, the last set.
See, rather than looking at these results, I think much more interesting results to look for, and much more useful results for the casters to talk about, would be, what are the last 5 times that these two teams have played in other tournaments, maybe? They played once in the RLCS group stage. They played recently in Rocket Rail group stages, I believe. Or knockouts, I don't know what it was. They've definitely played in Gfinities. They've definitely played in, Mockit 3v3s, things like this. What's their history? What are their recent results? Who's coming into this with like a winning streak? Who's coming in after losing 5 series in a row to the other team? Like, that's a much more interesting story to tell than, oh, this team, has 5 clean sheets against teams that are not playing today, but yeah, they still got clean sheets against them, I think it's much more interesting to see previous results between the 2 rosters. And yeah, somebody in my Twitch chat, or some people in my Twitch chat, including Halfway Dead, mentioned this. They're absolutely right.
Looking at the 2, I think the drive there is definitely for KAPOW. I'll agree with you on that. They just look really flat for Mockit.
Look what I've got here. I've got a beard comb.
I hope Mockit say
I love beard combs.
4-3 favor of KAPOW.
Like, casting is all about making a story about the teams. It's all about making a story and telling a story of the teams and how they've got to the current situation, and like how these teams are matching up and what is their team's history.
Of two teams that just got 4-0'd. Who's on
You might like what I have to say at the caster desk.
I would definitely say it's Mockit. We saw how it affected Genesis coming out of a hard loss yesterday in NA. Mockit, fresh off that pure destruction, 4-0,
so
unexpected from Flipside, who's really surging right now. But I would say KAPOW probably has, they've had time to recoup and are probably going to come into this with a little bit more time to recover on their mindset.
Absolutely. Had time to recollect themselves, hopefully be able to move forward here into this series. And one thing...
So that's very similar to what I said yesterday about Vex and Genesis, of course, from James. Good point, though. Very good point.
Kind of one-on-one rundown.
Yeah. Rotations, it doesn't necessarily require 3 people. All it means is that the people, so maybe you have 2 people up front, you're not sending the same person for the same ball at the same time. So rotations are giving your teammates space, letting them make the play so that you can play.
Sad is the most fun player to watch from the player cam. You can never predict what he's going, where he's going. Sure, I guess that's fun to some people. That's like, oh yeah, I love being driven by a drunk driver. You never know when you're gonna drive into the ditch. This is so much fun. Love it. You know? Oh, you never know when somebody's gonna make a terrible challenge and YOLO when they're the last man back instead of stalling. Gotta love Sad Junior Cam. Jokes aside though, you know, Sad has some great redirecting ability. So, gotta love those.
We talk about it, it's Rocket League, it's soccer with cars, right? But sometimes we forget it's soccer with cars. There's a lot more momentum involved, you know. So, speaking of soccer with cars, let's get into the first match here on DFH. First game between this Mockit squad.
I called this 4-3 Mockit, 4-2 Mockit this morning. I predicted these teams would be in the 3rd place match, and I thought that they were going to be 4-2 in favor of Mockit. So I don't actually remember what the score was. Let's go see. Somebody can maybe spoil it in the chat for me. I don't mind.
There were 3 shutouts or clean sheets out of the 5 games, so look for defense to be the theme here.
Sad's one of the best finishers. Yeah, for sure. Sad's got some great shooting. Some great redirecting. Good at air rolling. Good at just being a threat generally. But his defending is atrocious.
Yes, they certainly are on the board. As Pashy just boosts all the way over to the corner and sneaks it in. That one a little bit of a defensive lapse there.
Boom.
KAPOW, but look for
I love it when people in the chat are writing boom for whatever reason.
425, Mockit is up by 1, and now they are pressing back.
Retrospect are leaving their sponsor? No, but they're Onslaught now. What's the deal with that? I don't really know. Retrospect or Onslaught as orgs. Don't know anything about them. Skip 3rd place game? No way, dude. I want to see this game. I didn't see this series. Well up by Siki, doing the fast aerial, even though he's only jumping off the ground a little bit. That's the biggest advantage of doing the fast aerial, by the way. The fast aerial gets you to mid-height aerials so much quicker than a double jump aerial. Oh, it's just in. Okay.
Pashy just getting these open net freebies. You see Turbo put that out into the mid, which is so dangerous, and a lot missed his hit. And then you saw the last player back. It was Sniper. He just went for the boost in the corner. He must have had too much faith in a lot getting that clear out of the mid.
Yep.
He was right there with
what James said.
They were drag racing for that boost, kind of playing the boost mini game.
Sniper too much faith in his teammate. Whoa, what a play by a lot. Incredible air dribble off the wall.
Right now we have KAPOW on the offense, one of the first best offensives they've had. A lot.
Oh, it's in.
What was that? That was crazy.
This looked like a little bit of a defensive misplay. Mystic didn't get much of a clear. Sniper off the wall, passes it over to a lot.
What's Siki doing? Siki's been sitting in goal a bit too much recently.
Was that Pashy in net?
Sitting in goal a little bit too much.
He thought he was going to touch it earlier, and he kind of waits and kind of comes underneath it. Really smart play there. KAPOW on the board here in game number 1. Siki back on defense for Mockit. Can try and clear this out. He whiffs on that touch, and there's Mystic going to have to.
Oh, so they're retrospect again. They're not Onslaught anymore. Oh dear.
Pashy and Mystic getting tangled up on top of each other. All Mockit players right around
The first match is just a big mess, and Pashy has a broom. That's a great analogy. You know, I like this defending by Siki though in the corner. The ball's right beside him, and he doesn't care. He's like, that's fine. It didn't end up well because eventually the ball did spill loose. And then Siki did
forward pass
Yeah,
right out
it's a
to
really bad hit
for
by Siki,
Sniper.
but before
And
that,
realized that he might
when he
not
was just
have
chilling in the corner, that was
didn't
pretty
really
funny,
have
and I
the
like
time to
that.
get
That
up.
he's just like, he's perfectly happy that the ball's right beside him. He's like, I don't need to hit it away from me. Why would I hit it away? Like, it's actually worse if I do so. And then he ruined it by doing that wall clear. So, rip. Which, 10 out of 10, James spot again, spotting exactly what the problem was. It's a horrendous touch by Siki right there. Just passing the ball to a lot. Thanks, Flarky. You're actually doing things. It's awesome. I think that one could have gone on target. That one could have probably gone on target. It was close enough that he could have just scored it.
I think it was Sniper that got the pop, but Turbo just cheated up a bit too far. If he would have given his teammate more space in front of net, he would have been in a good position to get that goal.
And Sniper to a lot. Great passing. A lot could not quite get the shot he wanted. The ball has spent a good 30 seconds in this orange.
It's a bit weird the Onslaught have just let them go, because they still have a really good chance of making the LAN. What did they come 5th? They came 5th. All they have to do is, like, you know, come 3rd and they're guaranteed LAN, right? So if they came 3rd in the next one, they would be guaranteed to be in the LAN. Interesting. Maybe they had an agreement that they were supposed to come better than that, and they didn't meet it.
157 left to go, still tie game.
Wait, Vex? Vex sponsors leaving too? What? What did these sponsors expect from the teams? What did they think was going to happen? Oh yeah, you guys 7th in the PR, and now you're only going to make 3rd? Not good enough? Are you kidding me? Vex are... They overperformed so much. It was players leaving, not the sponsor? Right, okay. I'll have to find out more about this. Like, players leaving sponsors, or sponsors leaving players, seems really weird to me. Odd time to be doing it between qualifiers. Between qualifiers is weird. They wanted $3,500. But I mean, the land's worth so much more. You can't even put money on, like, how much money... Yeah, you can't even put money on how much... You can't even put money on how much the, like, advertisement is worth of having a team at a LAN like this. What are the biggest weaknesses that Mockit and A have to overcome to take top 4 in the power rankings? Tilts, God complexes, and sharp rotations in defense, leaving the net too early in defense, not trusting each other in defense, relying on the wall too much in defense. I could go on. There's a lot to be said for Mockit and their defensive problems.
Back off of the wall, but it actually kicked up off of the curvature of the bottom of the wall. So that was just a misread by Pashi.
Well, as he still has the lead at this point, they don't need another goal. They just need to keep it out of their own. Turbo Pulse.
I see, James. Okay, I know James has been helping some teams with their contractions.
Sniper can follow it. No, Mystic beats him to it. Tapashi off the walls, bouncing around. Let's see if they can get it out of this
Lots
corner.
of pregnancies in the pro scene.
Spent so much time in the corners of this game. Miziki taking a shot. That was a great shot, a great save from a lot, keeping that one out. Now Turbo Pulse just got to win the 1v1 with Pashi. He puts it up to the upper.
Oh!
To tie it up.
With 11 seconds left, Turbo
What a finish!
Comes up clutch, just letting it sit on the
Look at that delayed flick. Wow,
Wow,
what a delayed dodge. That's incredible. The Batmobile moves.
Putting his team on his back, carrying them to overtime, maybe to a win in
Turbo
regulation.
rage quit.
Tight game, 3-all,
Ooh.
7 seconds left. Ball in KAPOW territory. A lot keeping it in the corner. Turbo back in goal, going to come out.
I've heard that Turbo can be a bit of a rage quitter.
It's going close. Oh, so close, so close.
Loving the hype coming out from the color casting role, by the way, James. That's something that I'm a firm believer in. Just getting hyped as crazy, which is why I'm so sad that Skype ruins all the times that I do that, because it only listens to one person at a time. For all the casting that I do.
He's going to turn this into a counter play, sending it up into the corner. Pashi trying to just run some interference, buy his teammates time to rotate back onto offense. He has ball control. He gives it over to Mystic though.
That flick only works well with the Batmobile. Well, I mean, that flick will work better with wider cars. So the Batmobile being a wide car, it's obviously going to be a good car for it. Oh, Skype is just the worst, James. It's unbelievable. Like, I listen back to sometimes that I'm casting, and like, it's not. I can't even blame the other caster for like. It's fine to talk over each other, as you know. And like having both people just getting hyped and yelling when something awesome happens is great. But then Skype is just like messing about with the levels. It's like this guy's up, this guy's down, this guy's up, this guy's gonna speak. So you only hear half of what one person's saying, and you only hear like somebody like screaming, "Oh!" Then it like cuts out. And you're just like, what was he gonna say? Skype is terrible. The problem with it obviously is that you need it for facecam, and if you use Skype for the facecam and then another program for the voice, then it might be out of sync.
Gone in this overtime is still all tied up. Next goal wins. Ball lofted in front of KAPOW's goal. Sniper Kid back on defense. Pashy's shot is going to go wide. Sniper's going to be able to clear it around. Siki trying to get the shot, but Turbo puts a little bit more emphasis on it, and it's going to go off the backboard. Now a lot in Sniper back in the corner. Turbo in goal, able to clear it out.
E. That's so James going E.
Oh. Pashy with
what a goal.
Goal this game coming up big overtime. Goal for getting Mock their first win in this online finals. Right.
Sniper probably could have saved that if he sat back a bit more, but still, what a goal by Pashy. James is definitely one of the best casters. I mean, that's a no-brainer, dude.
That one was
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, so much stuff coming out from both these teams.
I learned a lot from James, just looking at what he does to make things more interesting than they actually are. I think that's something I improved on my casting recently.
And 12 shots from KAPOW.
I was like, what does James do? Why is he more interesting than me? It's like, he just grins like a giddy little teenager all the time. I'll need to do that.
Open net goals from KAPOW. KAPOW, they had some really good shots on net. They gave that one away on the defensive side. They really need to make sure that they're not leaving the net wide open for those long-range, easy goals for Pashy.
Absolutely.
E-killer, probably. Probably. Yeah, the pigeon mask too, of course, is a given.
Game number 2. Who's the player you want to watch starting off?
Yeah, just get hyped when you're explaining. The trick is, the trick that I found anyway from me is just to smile when you're explaining things and get emotive, like with your arms or whatever. Just like actually try and channel energy through the microphone. It's the same thing, like I've spoken to people who worked in like telemarketing, and what a play actually by Pashy. Whoa, well done. Oh my, okay. If he did that all the way, that would have been brutal to have done to you as KAPOW. KAPOW would have just been like done with this entire tournament. Where's the defense? What?
Backwards right there. That's never a situation you want to be in. Turbo gets that touch out into the mid. Sniper is not going to miss that shot. Wide open for him, and he gets KAPOW on the board early, just 30 seconds into this one.
Well done by Sniper. KAPOW does.
Here, James, see when you're casting, do you have two different screens, or are you both looking at one screen? And also, do you get to pan the camera around a lot more with if you're doing color casting? Because I feel color casting from autocam is much more difficult than color casting from just the none camera, where you can zoom out and look at everything.
Ping pong happening here. Here comes Turbo. Pulls it, gonna lock it. The redirect. No, it doesn't roll into it, and that's gonna leave ball control back in Mockit's hands.
That was a freebie. If KAPOW loses this game,
you can't pan at all. Then I fully sympathize with you missing things, because it's really difficult to do color casting from autocam, because you miss things. One player, one auto. One player, one auto. So how does that work then? Like, are they switching the broadcast, or are they switching this like stream spectator between two different screens? So like, is the color caster doing player cam? And oh yeah, all your colors, you just said that right now. All your colors based on player cams. So you're constantly changing player cam and color casting in player cam? Holy cow. That's not easy. It's much easier to color cast from just no camera, none camera, just zooming it out. I feel like that's a mistake on production for me. A lot should be saving that, by the way. He just didn't respect it. I feel like it's much easier, and you can get much more in-depth and accurate with what you say if you just have the camera zoomed out so you can see everything. But obviously that sucks for people watching the game because it's not fun. Color casting is what James Bot is doing in the cast right now.
into KAPOW territory, a lot falling back into goal.
So you hear Wavepunk, he's the
Great
play-by-play
shot from
caster,
Mockit on
he's
the
saying,
crossbar, and there's the
oh,
dunk.
you see this pass, you see this shot, you see this happening, this is happening, blah, 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 blah. Like, he's play-by-play. Every play that happens, Wavepunk is telling you. Then, everything James is saying is, like, more analysis-based. And the easiest way to explain it is Wave is saying what he sees, and James is saying what he thinks. So that's like, color casting is saying what you think, and play-by-play is saying what you see.
Excellent play between Pashy and Siki, creating that pressure. They're up by 1 right here as we're coming up on halftime. Sniper going to try and push this out of his own half. Siki keeping the pressure up. Great pressure.
And it's much easier to do color casting if you can see the entire game, because you can spot rotations, you can spot things happening off camera that are important. Like right now, there might be somebody driving around a boost 5 times in defense and missing it, and you can't see that on autocam. But the color caster might be able to see that if he's allowed to zoom out. What fantastic defending by Mystic and Pashy. Beautiful. That's why they're a top 3 team in EU and probably even the world.
Coach Orion would have been so disappointed in Mockit for not cleaning up that trash in front of the net.
Not quite there, but at this point, it gives KAPOW a tie game. Game number 2. There's a nice shot.
Yeah, it can definitely help play-by-play as well, Leaf, for sure.
Taking another shot. Great offense coming out from Mockit, and Pashy's going to take the lead.
Wow, it's great. Pashy is just hitting his shots this series. Just, he's absolutely drilling every shot into the net. Just so fast.
That shot was unblockable, a laser beam for Pashy.
I feel like Pashy has a hat trick.
I think play-by-play for how they do play-by-play at RLCS is definitely fine for Rocket League. I think it's pretty okay.
Sniper Kid running the interference, leaving it for a lot in midfield. Mystic can't get there. Tie game again.
Mystic got caught out in the corner.
I don't know why Pashy gave up ball pressure right there. Pashy just like left the ball. And yeah, apparently Mystic was going on a boost adventure right there. We didn't see it because of autocam, but I mean we can infer that.
Mockit has been aggressive on offense, been able to take the lead, but KAPOW every time has responded so well.
I mean, if I was running the production, the way I would have it is just like one spectator on. He could switch between autocam and player cam as he wants to. That would probably be the play-by-play caster at the moment. Or how about even there's one spectator, right? Who is, and then the casters share a screen, and the color caster can actually control the camera. All he has to do is zoom out and have no camera on, just none camera, and he can zoom around and have everything in the play, and he'll always be showing the play-by-play caster what he needs to see while also seeing all the information he wants to see. Then you can use the other spectator slot for an actual dedicated spectator who can switch between the cameras as he desires. Obviously, it's difficult because, like, how do you change between players with hotkeys and stuff if you've hidden the overlay? Is that even possible?
Back wall again, not able to take a shot. Final minute of gameplay, still all tied up.
Yeah, Sniper has an opportunity for a backboard pass. Oh.
Dude, you donated an apology? I didn't notice, my friend.
Pashy with a run, a lot going to take it from him.
Oh, dude, if you're short of cash, you don't need to ever donate. Nobody needs to ever donate to me if you're short of money. You don't need to apologize for too many questions either. Like, if I don't want to answer your question, I won't answer it. But if I answer it, then it's because I want to. So, no, not at all, my friend. I enjoy the discussions that you generate, Eat Killer, and you've always got some good contributions.
Needs to win the 1v1 with Siki. He does. Sending into the corner. Now Sniper picking up ball control. Pass it back to Turbo Bolsa, who passes up to Sniper. They need to pinch
Yeah, ideally we have billions of spectator slots, but with 2, I would say you just have one dedicated spectator and one for the casters to share, because when you're in the same place anyway, you can both see the same screen, right? You don't need 2 spectator slots for the casters.
110 kilometers per hour, just right in the heart.
What a laser beam by a lot!
Keeping KAPOW in this one.
It was a pretty good laser.
It took them 2 minutes to score, but with 13 seconds.
Yeah, Lovely Badger's Reddit post did get referenced. It was a good post. It's a quality post. Better than Durkin's dissection of IBP.
That pinch right there will probably do it. We'll see if Mystic can keep this on his hood. No, he's not going to be able to. And we got a tied up series.
I love laser beam.
Game 1, KAPOW takes game 2.
So right
Laser's
now,
good. I've heard a couple of guys in the NA side say, "Oh, he drained that shot." That's another one you could say.
win under their belt.
Just like come up with lots of, just go in like thesaurus.com laser.
Really good game.
Yeah, significantly
Frozen
more
rope.
defensive game. We talked
I'm gonna
about
do it
the
right
defense in the
now.
first game and how that needed to step up. They really did step up. We only had 4 shots, 6 shots on either side. So we had less shots total this game than we had on one side last
Laser.
game. Much better defense on both sides.
What an absolute radiation!
Very close to going into overtime.
What a
That was
shaft.
almost an overtime game. So we've had 2.
Whoa, what a beacon from a
right off
lot.
the bat. The first game,
Incredible.
defense, a little bit of a struggle for both teams, but we're seeing them to start bringing it back, having the right mentality. Both teams with some phenomenal shots. This is high level.
What a column.
Tides really looking to give us a show in this match. Again, they are
What a great emission.
140 points to put them in the best spot possible to make it to the
Get shafted.
finals. So
Oh
this
dear.
is a lot on the line here.
Oh my word. Sorry, this is a 3rd place match. I can't stop laughing. Oh man, that was good. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed thesaurus.com/laser. That was brilliant. I better close that before I just get even more distracted. Oh. Get shafted. Get shafted.
Rocket League right here. You see Mystic thought he was going to get the hit. A lot just put it right on Pashy.
Why is Pashy popping it though? That's a disaster.
Just popped it straight up for Turbo, and Turbo, it was
What an emission.
in the middle of the net, very blockable, but just enough to get
What a
the goal.
shaft on
Now
goal.
Turbo putting KAPOW up 1-0 early in this game 3.
See, so many words. See how many of these stupid words you fit into the next cast, James. Like, try and come up with the most ridiculous name for a shot, and then just work it in there really subtly, and try and not laugh your ass off. That'd be so funny. Oh, Suki's got it in for sniper.
Realizing no one was in goal, run some more interference.
He streamed that shot.
KAPOW, they started off shaky, but starting to get back into it. Though
Oh my
Mockit
goodness.
has been doing
What a montage!
putting stints of pressure on the
Incredible.
KAPOW defense.
Sniper back in goal is Mockit offensive.
Wubba Fat, by the way, thanks for the kind words, by the way. I didn't get a chance to.
You mean it was
I didn't get a chance to say that.
No, it's a breakaway.
You can see a horrible hit from Mystic.
So yeah, 2 awful hits. First by Pashy and now by Mystic, and suddenly 2-0. Absolute toaster. You guys are incredible at this. A toaster. Oh, that's so good. This is amazing. We're building up a whole, like, the repertoire of casting vocabulary right now is expanding faster than it ever has before. This is incredible.
See if you can keep playing off the wall. Well done by a lot, keeping this pressure strong. Turbo's going to put it around the corner. They just keep bouncing it off the corner.
I guess I'm looking at the chat now for more incredible shot adjectives.
They're able to do it because right now this KAPOW offense is just pressing in hard.
Oh, you saw Mystic and Pashy there at the mid. Both players taking out the play right there.
He just unloads it into the goal. That's good. I like that.
So Mockit not looking so good in this.
Not even unloads it into the goal, just he unloads into the goal. Oh man, this is great fun. I'm loving it.
Demoed a moment ago, removing that 3rd player meant there was no one to take that easy shot.
Your vocabulary is bludging.
Into this blue zone, really
I love saying enemy instead of opponent. The enemy player.
Almost had that one, but
Oh
was able to
dear.
get there first. Clear it out. Mockit has yet to
Yeah, I was
score.
shafting
As we approach
emissions
halftime,
when
they're
you
seeking
complimented
down
me
the
well
backboard.
with it.
Trying to get another touch.
So
Pashy
sorry
lost it
about that.
there,
I got a
but
little bit
the ball was there.
distracted.
Mystic could not get up in the
Couldn't
backfield
thank
in
you
time
for
to
your
get the
kind
shot.
words.
Siki and Pashy both tangled up in the blue corner. There's a lot
But
of
this
all
guy
the
in the
way
fridge,
down. Mystic
he was
finally
on
showing up
fire.
to show his presence. Going to go off the backboard, so clearing it very well.
Oh
Moving
man.
that backboard shot opportunity. A lot to set it off the backboard.
Yeah,
They're gonna
definitely
get the
more
angle.
puns on player names as well. It's like Kronovi dunks on
Right
Fireburner.
now,
It's like
Mr.
Kronovi
Man, the zone
just
is a lot
extinguishes
more
Fireburner
any sort of shot.
right here.
And really
That would be amazing. Oh man, the demos. I love how Pashy's just like driving out, then he's just like whoop, just goes a little bit to the side to get the
A
demo.
lot of it, from what I've seen, is due to
I had a
Mystic.
pretty sick
Mystic does such a
biblical
good job
pun the other day.
corrects, but I
Or it wasn't even a
haven't
pun.
seen
Well, I
him
guess it was a
so far.
pun.
It's been a lot of
Genesis giving, don't remember who it was, giving Orbit the quick exodus from the Rocket Royale knockouts.
left to go, and Mockit has
Gotta
done
get those
to
team
on the
name
board.
and
Siki
player
passes
name
basically with
puns.
Turbo Pulsa, who puts into the corner where Sniper is waiting. Sniper gonna try and win the 1v1 here. Mystic again, able to push up that pressure. Pashy trying to create an opportunity, but it's not gonna go through. The ball at midfield. Turbo Pistol wins the 1v1.
Sad Junior, more like
He's got an
sad save
opportunity on
attempt,
the
am I
net.
right?
Gonna be able to get in the way of that one,
After
keep it
he
out,
just
keep the
completely
lead from
whiffs.
Greasy, but right
Bring
now
it.
they really need
Nice
some
pass.
offensive
Okay,
pressure if
well
they're
read
able
though
to win
by
here.
Sniper.
129 left to go, still scoreless for Mockit.
And you can see just Mystic not able to get too involved in the play. That was his first shot, first hit on the
Yeah,
ball.
Genesis has to have to rename to Exodus because they have
Still
Moses
all tied
now.
up 1-1
It's
at
true.
this point. Whoever wins
It's
this
true.
game, they're not moving on to like a match point or
It
anything,
looks
but
like
they
they're
want
resting.
to win every game
Yes,
you can.
exactly,
Trying to
James.
put that one in is not gonna be able
So, like,
to
you
fix
can
this
think
lead.
of, this
Pashy
is the
carried this
beauty
one.
of
That's an
puns, is
opportunity.
you can
Just get it past
premeditate
Turbo.
them.
Turbo's
They can
gonna
all
take
be
down
thought
Turbo.
of before the
Turbo
cast even
patiently
starts,
going
and
for
then
this
you
one
just
out.
have to
Final
think of
minute of
moments to
gameplay.
throw them in
Mockit
there.
needs two.
And
They're on
people
the
are like,
offensive.
wow,
Sniper
this guy's a
carrying over
genius, he just
everybody,
thought of that on the
creating
fly,
it.
but it's
Turbo
actually
going.
just
Siki
premeditated
waited patiently
murder.
for it. Knew he'd run out of boost, able to run this one up. A lot's going to get the demo on Pashy, relieve the offensive pressure. The ball live in front of the goal. Mystic with an opportunity. What a
Nice
shot from
finish.
Mystic.
Mystic
Nice finish.
bringing it back. Does get this one a little bit of a defensive miscue. You saw Turbo should have been coming out to challenge that one earlier. And Mystic just is.
Why do I hate Sad Junior so much? I don't. It's just he's got a very easy name to pun off. I mean, you're hardly ever going to have compliments when you're punning a name Sad Junior. It also just so happened that Sad Junior's been brought up a lot in chat recently, and it was just relevant at the time.
Nice touch from Mystic, keeping the offensive going. 30 seconds left, and they've got it into KAPOW's corner. Great interference from Pashy, keeping the ball up there. A lot able.
You're currently watching my stream from the NA Finals and my EU broadcast live. You're incredible, my friend. That was such a good play by Siki, by the way, to dodge that dunk. Chronobi, more like Chronobody. Yeah, dude. That's what I'm about.
Down in midfield, there's Sniper and falling back. Great rotations coming out. On defense, that one going towards the goal. Not going to quite get into it. We're going to have the final countdown.
So another game goes away from Mockit U. Just a couple of horrendous defensive mistakes. Like, KAPOW really not creating anything by themselves. They're like, alright, we'll take these goals. Thank you, Mockit.
On that one, KAPOW starting to show some life, getting back into it, but all these games have been so close.
Macronovian cheese.
Absolutely, we have all the goals were assisted here. It was really strong from both teams. We saw a lot of team plays. You know, we're talking about like Pashy playing strong for Mockit and being up there, but it was, you know, the goal that happened was Siki to Mystic, and you know, capitalizing on that defensive miscue. We saw Siki had to get it around the two defenders, able to push it out. Really well done.
Oh, Karmic D, if you don't want spoilers, then you should leave immediately. There will almost certainly be spoilers, either from me or from someone in the chat. If you want to watch this unspoiled, watch it on twitch.tv/Rocket League, not on my stream, because this is not the place to dodge spoilers at all.
But Pashy, he got a lot of those goals, and honestly, that first game that Mockit was able to win, they kind of got it handed to him by KAPOW.
Jesse Pinkman's shot was purer than blue meth, except he's not called Jesse Pinkman anymore. He got copyright claimed for that, and he's just Jesse.
In game number 4, they're down by 1 game in the series. They need to change something up at this point, but we are back on Manfield, and now it's raining.
Yeah, if that rain does not affect their tires, do not worry. But again, these teams fighting for that 3rd place spot to get that extra 140
That's very odd.
points. Also the pride that comes
What
in.
a shot from Pashy! I thought it was going off
Wow.
the crossbar. It did not. He was able
This
to
shot
score.
dipped
Wow.
like crazy.
Got that pass out into the mid, and Turbo was in.
Oh,
net.
what a
That wasn't the hardest
touch.
of shots.
What a touch. He wheeled that. He basically leaned back and belly flopped it in. That was nice.
Just putting a shot on net, you never know what's going to happen.
This is the place to be entertained with emissions on net. Absolutely. What was I going to say? Mystic, yeah, the whole Mystic situation's a weird one. Like, he's easily good enough to be a starter for a top team.
Sniper's going to read him well, put it into the corner. Now Turbo Pulse are going to try and push this one out of their half, move it back onto Mockit's territory. Mystic and Pashy both in the
I need to
corner.
text Marky, actually.
Mystic's able to get it
Tell
past
him about
Sniper, though.
this.
A lot, though, not to be fooled, tying it up.
I'm going to text Marky Duda and tell him that Mystic is off the main Mockit EU roster.
Sniper there, but he just teed it up for a lot, who put it right in the top.
To be honest though, that's just a really good positioning play by a lot, because he noticed that one of his teammates in front of him was going to draw out some sort of play from Mystic, so Mystic had to do that, exactly that, to get the ball past a lot's teammate, and then a lot just came in and swooped in for the finish. It's kind of like a 1-2 challenge. You let your teammate go in ahead of you, and even if your teammate gets taken out of the game by like a dribbling play, you can swoop in and pick up the free ball.
As you see now, the 1-2 from Pesci and the stick. Oh, a lot. Just put this.
I saw this goal earlier actually. It's a bad clear by a lot, and then great pass. And Pesci is absolutely draining his shots today against KAPOW. Absolutely draining his shots. That was just perfect.
Extra power. Pesci did that perfectly, and the placement just unblockable. And Mockit take the lead here, looking very good.
You know what that reminds me of? RLC Pro League Finals, where Pesci gets passed to. He is so good at those angles.
That is reminiscent of the RLC Pro League Finals.
Putting his team up here, 3:35 left to go. A lot going to try and press this one out. KAPOW needs one to tie it up. Turbo and a lot both up on offense. Going to try and keep this away from Pesci. Turbo just playing keep away with the Mockit squad, but eventually Mockit's going to win that game. And they're going to be passing it between themselves. Great mind games from Pesci. He has an opportunity. Is it going to go in? It's
oh, please go in. No. Oh, I wanted to see that mind game again. That was a great mind game.
Pesci trying to make the 1v3 happen, but Turbo just ending his dreams there, using that Batmobile to maneuver that ball off the goal line.
Are permanent subs going to become a thing of history? Will subbing them into who offers more for this match? In my opinion, the best structure for a Rocket League Pro team is to have two teams. Not necessarily an A team and a B team, but obviously one team will be better than the other. Just it's impossible to have two teams that are perfectly equal. And then you can switch players between the teams if necessary. Like say two players fall out, you can just make a swap. You can do in-house practice. People are like, well, it's something that Korean League of Legends teams did before that got banned by Riot, the makers of League. Good finish by Mystic. Well done. What's up, Sweaty Mix? What's up, Jesse? How you doing, guys?
Pass out into the mid. You see a lot. Got that center. Pesci hits it over, and Mystic is not going to miss that one. Just got the tip of his
Epicest mind game by Mike Rules. That's rare. Mike hardly ever does mind games. I look forward to it.
Mock really coming back in this one, looking like the better team.
I just saw Marky Duda writing ! prize split in the chat right now. Like in the RLCS chat, which you guys don't see because it's slightly off the screen, Marky just wrote ! prize split. So he's trying to find out what the prize money is for first and second. Oh dear. Marky, he's now doing ! commands in the chat so he can find out the prize money command. Oh, Marky. He wants to know how much money he's going to win. It's funny.
Again, great defense coming out from Mockit under really staunch pressure from this KAPOW squad. They're keeping it up though. Sniper going for shots again. Seeking going to try and pass this one around.
Oh, what's up, Greasy?
Keep it up and out of KAPOW's hands. Man,
what a play by Turbo. Matrixing the ball perfectly.
Props to Mockit for keeping out of their own goal.
Turbo had a very heads-up play, but Sicky, he saw that coming. He knew that demo was going to take place, so he zoomed into net, used all his boosts, and was able to get there in time. Mockit so solid on the defensive side here in Game 4.
1:14 left to go.
That shot from Sniper could have and may as well have been a backflip shot. Like after the initial jump into the shot, there's no reason not to backflip just to kill your momentum and be able to recover a little bit faster, rather than just, you know, floating through the air and landing further forward. That's why Marky does backflip shots all the time in ones. Oh, Turbo. That was good play. Unlucky.
Again, Mockit, their defense just proving to be too
What's up, Seeks? How you doing?
Struggled against the offensive onslaught from from Flipside.
Fake! Oh.
But now
Oh, okay. Or just score. There's a backflip shot. Speaking of backflip shots, like obviously if Mystic hits this shot and it hits off the post and comes back in his direction, he's going to be able to deal with that because he backflipped rather than front flipping, so he doesn't lose his positioning.
Out of the game for KAPOW, And that was an easy shot for Mystic.
Or rather, I shouldn't say it like that.
38
That's not
seconds
correct
left,
English. He
and
doesn't
KAPOW
lose his
needs
favorable
3.
position
At this point, it's looking like, oh, there's another
at
shot.
the edge of the box,
It's
where he's
looking
able to like
Mockit is
react to
gonna
lots
tie
of
the series
situations
up
in
at
front of
2
him.
games apiece. We might have our first really
It's a
strong
general
game. We might have a
misconception
game 7 in this
that
series.
to do a
You never
backflip
know.
shot, you have to like
Turbo
instantly
Pulse, he's trying to
backflip
end
and
this
hit
now,
the
though.
ball
They want
with
points
your
on the
car
board.
as
They
it
wanna be
like
able to
flips
take
up.
5
That's
games.
not how
Run some mid-air
the
defenses
physics of the
by
game
his
works at
teammates,
all.
trying to rotate
All you have to
15
do is
seconds
like
left.
jump
A lot of
once,
them, you pick it up
hit
out,
the
kind
ball
of
like
sloppy touch
precisely,
there,
or hit the
leaving
ball
it
like
sloppy
precisely
from the
with your
goal.
jump, and then after the ball's away, then you can backflip to prevent your car from like flying forward and getting out of position.
To the side, removing any chance of a shot materializing for KAPOW. Final countdown, they're not even
Ooh, I'm looking forward to kickoff goal comments.
Yep,
I'm
Rocket
looking
League,
forward to
as
it.
soon as that ball hits the ground, when zero time or when you only have 0 time left on the clock, the game is over. And we saw it right there, almost a goal at the end, but still, look at the amount of shots for KAPOW, not able to make it happen.
13 shots and only 1 goal. There was a lot of saving we saw on the side of Mockit. They did save 8 of those, which was just a staunch defense. Really, really strong plays there and making the counter plays work. We saw that a lot with them. They weren't having to create pressure. Mockit wasn't having to stay on the offense too much. They made those 4 shots out of 7, or those 4 goals out of 7 shots.
What do you mean, Big Taco 10 at JamesBot? Real talk, great casting today. What do you mean? JamesBot has always casted well, not just today.
Coming from the 1-1 scene, you're used to seeing that. One defense is a lot about making the right decision, playing conservatively, not taking risks. Mockit, they were a brick wall on defense, and that is very tough when you're going against a team when it seems like everything you put on net just cannot seem to go in. Very annoying.
Game number 5, we move on to Urban Central with the trains. Who are we going to jump on board with first?
We're going to go on board with Sicky, who set up Pashy for that awesome.
Yeah, no problem, James. I'm your biggest fan.
Hanging back in goal right now. Going to try and push this one out and away. A lot running some interference, keeping it in the
Sicky with the ballerina moves.
Coming out from
Beautiful pirouette off the wall.
Their own half. Now we're to see them moving on to the offense. There's Turbo Pulsa trying to run some interference again, putting it into the corner. Mystic trying to play backwards to keep this offensive going, but Turbo and a lot going to be
Here, James, how many times did Carpet practice shouting "Turbo" for when Turbo actually scored a goal during his cast?
Yeah, that's the type of play you want to make.
It's alright, Big Tech. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing. I wanted to make it sound like I was going to disagree with you, then actually agree. If you know what I mean.
Because that's where
that's what I was saying.
Shots are more likely to go in. If you get that, if you're out in the center, you've got the whole net to shoot on. You put it out into the corner, there's no angle to get a shot. So very well played by KAPOW.
Siki trying to press this one out of his own half, leaves the ball hanging at half field. Now a lot's going to press up and into the corner. Pashy comes out of
He woke you up, actually.
Transition going. There's a pass from Mystic,
funny.
and going straight on to goal.
Oh no!
They were not able to get up
Turbo like second guessed himself. He was like, "That's in the crossbar. Yeah, that's in the crossbar. Yeah, it's in the crossbar. Oh no, it's in the. It's going in. Oh, it's in the crossbar." That was like that was what the voice inside Turbo's head was saying for that play.
First goal here in this 3rd place game.
And that seems to be a story of this series, just the defensive lapse. We'll see if anyone is able to tighten that one up moving forward. 3:45 left to go. Mockit has a 1-0 lead. Series is all tied up at 2-2 as this game 5. A lot able to clear that one to the corner. Great touch there. That was a scary one. Now Turbo's going to try and pass this one up to Sniper. Great passing coming out from Mockit right now, or from KAPOW. Sniper to a lot. There's the shot.
Well done.
A
lot back on the Octane, by the way. I didn't comment on this yet. It's funny, one time I saw him streaming and I saw him talking about the Octane, and he said he didn't like it, but then he like kept playing it anyway.
They've had a lot of impressive goals, but
yeah, Tururu was fantastic. That was a nice pass, by the way. Another ground pass from EU teams.
That's like the 100th time you've made the allot joke.
This is so good. It's
the allot pun doesn't even count. It's so easy. It doesn't count.
If you make your name just like a function of speech, I'm gonna use it all the time. A lot setting this one up for his teammates, trying to create another opportunity. This game all tied up with 3:06 left to go. Turbo Pulse missing that touch, but it's gonna go into the corner. They're gonna have some time to rotate. Siki sends that one and crosses to the front of the goal.
Oh, what a save!
Shot. Turbo Pulse with the interference, keeping that one out. I was pretty certain Pashy was gonna be able to put that one in.
That was a great save by Turbo.
That one out. And now Sniper with an opportunity, sending it onto the front of the goal. They're not gonna be able to make the shot happen at this point. Coming up on halftime, still all tied up. Mockit very well set up on defense.
Yeah, Sniper had a very
Shop's
good
doing
spot
some
on defense
market
to take
research, huh?
that player,
Interesting.
for Mock out of it.
Control it!
Also,
Don't
really
hit it
good
away!
player
A lot. Why?
Oh,
Ah.
great touch there, though.
It's like I can see it coming. I see him with space, and I know he's gonna hit it away.
How did
Because
Pappy get
it's
this
like
in?
typical
So Sniper
KAPOW.
and Turbo both went
Oh
up for that
dear.
ball. Huge mistake. So it's
This is
free
a
pass.
great
Yeah,
finish,
Pappy
by the way.
gets that on net.
Unbelievable
Such
shot
a
from Pashi, who
crazy
has been
angle,
shooting
but
so
Pashi,
well in this
he has
series.
been
But
proven
why
on
did a
this
lot
plus
hit the
that
ball
he can
away?
make any
He had
angle
so
work.
much
So
time, and he just
Such a
poked it
strong
forward.
player. They're up by 1 right here as we cross over into halftime. Mockit looking
Is
to
there a
try and
place
take
to
the
go
lead back
about
in the series.
requesting
There's a nice
coaching?
shot on the
What, you
net,
mean
but,
from
oh,
me
Mystic
or
could
just
not get the
generally,
follow-up touch.
Xander?
Very close, and now Sniper and Turbo on the offensive. Pashi and Goal going to keep it in the corner. Sniper went for boost. They're going to try the boost starve tactic if they can.
Actually, I would have watched this live, regardless of the fact of me doing a review, but I was busy, so I
Able to
didn't.
get that ball over his own head. Now Pashi back, last line of defense, able to keep that one in the corner. Let's Siki set up in goal. He's ready for this one.
This is not a reaction video. This is just a review.
156 left to go. Mockit still with a 1-point lead. There's the shot from Turbo, pulls up to the upper 90, but Pashi is going to be able to get that one out.
What did I say, Michael?
Needs to make another one, but
I don't even
able to
remember.
get it around this time.
A lot. You see the difference between that first shot. Pashi, you put it on net, it's an easy block. You put it right off the backboard, it makes it really difficult for the defender to make the play. And a lot comes in, it's an easy read for him, and puts it in to tie it up with just under 2 minutes to go.
That's what makes that backboard play so important. It's so hard for the defense.
Such a
to
shame
very,
that
very simple
Flipside won today, so I can't
very, very strong plays
rip
there coming
Mike
up
to
from KAPOW. They
shreds.
tied the series up, 141 left to go. Turbo pulses back
Oh,
to goal.
beautiful
They
fight
try to
night.
take a
Lovely.
shot. They ran for the goalie zone, but the midfield interference from the other KAPOW players kept that shot from materializing. Now Turbo Pulse is going to be able to push this one up. Great offensive pressure coming out from KAPOW right now. Sniper going to try and set this one up for his teammates. They're not going to be able to push that one out just yet. Ball still sitting in the corner. So Mystic sends it to midfield. A lot
Vodka money.
Gonna be able to pass up the Turbo Pulse, but Siki beats him to it and sends it back into KAPOW territory.
So Sniper needs to get a good clear here. He hits it right at Siki. Not the greatest placement for a clear.
Ball at midfield with 1 minute left to go. Sniper sending that one over into the corner. Is not going to make a shot happen just yet. Turbo Pulse.
We need a Johnny Reacts to series. It would probably have to be Johnny Reacts to kickoff strategies. That would be the best. I think that would be the most extreme reaction videos for me. Johnny Reacts to kickoff strategies. Somebody make it happen. Just find the most ridiculous kickoff strategies and then send them to me.
Great interference on that back wall from Mockit all game long. 40 seconds left, still all tied up. Anybody can take this. There's the shot from Sniper, but missed it. Great save and goal. Keeping that one out. The bicycle save.
Just laughing at James. I love it.
30 seconds left.
Sniper,
Still tie game.
Sniper had so much of the net to shoot at. He really should have had a better shot. That one was
Of course, you can't have reaction videos without the fine bros. Everybody knows this. I mean, they're probably claiming ad revenue on this video because I said fine bros.
Now Pashi with the tearaway opportunity or the breakaway. Either one, take your pick. 10 seconds left. Pashi trying to push this one up. All Mockit in their own half, alone with the ball. 5 seconds, and now it's counting down. We'll see if Siki can make the angle here. Pashi going to send it off the backboard. Is going to touch. Sniper's going
I mean, Xander, by the way, if you want to, if you want coaching from me, just email me, and we'll see if we'll negotiate. But it's gonna cost you. I'm just gonna be brutally honest.
Him and the Woodwork getting to know each other really well there.
Really well.
As we have our second overtime here in this third place.
Oh, it was it was more of a like small case than uppercase there, James. Oh.
Back on defense, gonna clear it all the way back.
Didn't you upload one of the coolest fake kickoff strategies on YouTube? Yeah, dude. You can see that on my YouTube. It's a very nice kickoff strategy.
Mystic and Pashi both up for this one. Kind of a dangerous situation, but there was no
CYC3, you're absolutely correct. A 3v3 fake kickoff strategy. Who knew? It's a beautiful strategy. An actual training ground move, something that Rocket League lacks. Like, nobody really has training ground moves in Rocket League. It's just like, everybody just improvises. But you could totally, like, have set formations and moves and team plays.
It just doesn't quite go in. Great clear from Sniper, keeping his head in the game and able to clear that one out and away. Now the ball is back on the backboard of KAPOW. 1 minute gone in this overtime. No one has been able to find a way to put it in the goal. Sniper going to wait for this one out as Mystic pitches it off the wall to Siki. That ball's going to go off the backboard. Can he get the angle?
That's got to be a goal. Yeah.
Shot from Siki.
Mystic
Nobody's challenging the ball at all. For
He gets that pass right off the backboard.
Like
Sniper
mainly
can't
Sniper's
lose
just
by
like chilling.
it.
He's
It
just like,
puts it right over his
what?
head. Sniper
Where's
was
the
out
ball?
of the
Oh,
play,
it's in.
and
It's in the
Mockit
net. Oh well.
takes their second victory from overtimes.
Well done.
Woody.
They take the
That's
lead
funny.
in the series with 3 games. Now we have KAPOW on match point. Everyone
When
beforehand
can
was
we
thinking
get
KAPOW
group
was
training
maybe
without
gonna be,
going
just running
into
away with this one, but
exhibition?
Mockit has really
Not,
recollected
I think, what do you mean?
themselves
Like,
after that
free
devastating
play with
4-0 loss to the
friends?
flip side, and have really taken it
That
to
would be
KAPOW's
pretty cool.
side.
Yeah, this is
If you could
quite
get
the
free
series.
play with
Now, we've
friends.
had, every game but one has been a 1-goal game. This has been very close. Mockit's defense, really the theme. They've been holding strong and playing better. It seems like right now they are the better squad, but KAPOW very easily can get back into it, tying it up with a win here. But they're fighting for their life. They're fighting for that 140 points. They really want to get that 3rd place finish, go out on a good note, and have more points going into
How much
the
does
second
140 points actually
qualifier
play
for
in the
RLCS.
next qualifier? Like, what points are available? The next qualifier thingy? Best suit NA, well done, James. Carpet had a pretty good suit actually as well. It was pretty close between James and Carpet, I would say. Pretty close. Then they had Lawlers and Leafs ties, which were shambolic, to say the least.
Really, look for the backboard
Gibbs
to
with the
play
good
a
old
role. We saw
super
him
high
get,
tie clip as well.
Offensive pressure right before the end of the game.
We've had a lot of
KAPOW
fashion
was
comments
able to
today.
deny those bounces on the backboard. That is so
Yeah, the
critical.
next qualifier is worth more.
So difficult to beat a
But
defender
how
when
much
that
more?
ball
Like, you
does
see a
get
team
that
comes
off the back. You need to get there first
4th and
deny it
4th,
before it pops
and
out
another
into the
team
field.
comes 5th and 3rd. Does the team that got 5th and 3rd in the qualifiers respectively qualify? Like, I'd love to know what the different breakdowns are to see like exactly what do the teams have to get next time.
Saw a lot, ran out of boost. Sniper was thinking a lot, was going to get that hit out of position. That left
Is it possible to send a replay to me and get some feedback on it?
41 left to go.
Well, just the other day somebody asked me that, and I was like, well, sure, I'll stream a replay and talk over it for a $5. So I guess I'm doing those for a $5 now. Because if I do it for one person, I suppose I should do it for other people.
See Siki kind of rethink that one and leave himself back on defense, because a lot is going to be pressing this one out. Siki's decision pays off, able to push that one back up into KAPOW territory.
Oh, they posted the points in Reddit? I'll have to check that out for sure. I'll have to check that out.
1v1s, gets it past one, but not going to be able to fill side flip man there, not going to get it past Pashy.
Feels backflip, one of my favorite emotes.
So good.
But yeah, you could see even Pashy getting his bump game on.
Oh, what a shot from Mystic going just wide. Let's see if anyone can follow it up. No one's going to be there. Ball still in KAPOW territory. I'm surprised they were not able to clear
Mystic
that one.
going for the backflip touch.
Pashy, very physical player, and that does come from 1v1s as well.
Oh,
He's
chops
widely known
with
as
the
biggest
Kappa
bumper.
Pride in
Plays
Wavepunk's
a lot,
general
and he's
direction.
always getting in there,
Cheeky.
being annoying, and also it just puts you out of position when you get bumped because you have no control where you land.
Siki trying to move this one up.
That's the other interesting thing about bumps though recently, is that now that they've made that feature in the game where, say you fall off a wall, you can dodge like an infinite amount of time after you fall. So it's the same thing, if somebody bumps you, you can just dodge and you stop getting sent flying. So if somebody like smashes you and you're going to go flying across the pitch, you can just dodge and you fall to the ground because you lose your momentum. Oh, those numbers were the qualifier points. I thought that was like a Steam like game code. I was like, why are you posting a game code for a Steam game in my chat? But it's actually the points for the qualifier. Gotcha. I see.
Right out to midfield. There's Mystic with a shot off the backboard. We'll see if Pashy can come from the backfield. Great interference from Turbo Pulse, so keeping that shot from materializing. But we're coming up on halftime, and KAPOW has yet to score.
Like, so far the difference in these games has been Pashy's shots. Pashy's just been hitting his shots better than anyone else.
KAPOW probably losing a little bit of hope here.
Oh, here's an opportunity off the backboard to see if they all missed. No, where are the other KAPOW players? No one took that shot. It was so well set up by Turbo Pulse, and they were not able to get it. Even have Mockit players whiffing, and now Mockit just over halftime. They have the 1-0 lead. They're pressing up here. There's a shot bouncing around a net. Sniper.
Oh, I saw this. Somehow it doesn't go in. I was just chilling with my visitors, and then I came back in my room and I saw that, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me?"
KAPOW catching a break there. As that one, I surely thought that was going in.
Well, then why did no Mockit players follow up with it? You know, I fully expected them to kind of create some pressure there. They weren't there for that one. Now Turbo's
The reason no Mockit players followed up is because when the first player was coming in for the clear, they just thought, ah, he's clearing it, so they positioned themselves to like catch his or intercept his clear, and then instead of clearing it, I don't know who it was, they slammed it off the inside of the post, and it went across the goal twice more like twice more times. Twice more times? 2 more times. And then Mockit are probably thinking, oh no, why didn't we go in for this? But they obviously just thought that the ball was getting cleared, so they didn't go for it.
To make this happen, KAPOW on the ropes right now. This is the knockout game for them. Match point for Mockit if they can close this one out.
124 left to go, and on KAPOW's side, they only need 2 wins. They gotta win this one and 1 more. It's not hard. They've done it before. They can do it with this Mockit squad. We'll see if they're able to take it to him. 114 left to go. KAPOW needs to create some offense. Here's the start of it. Alok gonna try and pass it to his teammates, but Siki beats him to it. Sends the ball at midfield. Sniper coming from the backfield.
Siki going for the hover dunk.
Now the ball gonna be off the back.
It's pretty funny thing to see. Oh my. These clears are so poor sometimes.
And now final minute of gameplay. Mockit has ball control again.
Pesci with the dribble, trying to make it happen, but again, just under a minute left. KAPOW can do this. They can bring it back and stay alive and keep fighting for that 3rd place finish.
Mockit might be able to stay strong, though. They only need 40 more seconds of clean play. Keep the ball out of their goal for 40 seconds. They got the point. There's the shot for
oh, that's such a good pass. Well done. Ground passes coming out from KAPOW. Beautiful. What a pass.
Out into the mid beautifully for Turbo, and Turbo puts it right where he needs to. If he would have put that on the far right, Siki would have been able to block it, but Turbo does not mess that up on the biggest stage that he's played in
so well done.
far. Clutches
Beautiful
it for
pass.
KAPOW, and they stay in this 3rd place match.
Final 30 seconds, tie game. Everything on the line for KAPOW right now. They need 1 more to force a game 7. See if they can do it. You know Mockit's got to be feeling the pressure. They've been so close to winning this. If they can just put 1 more in, they'll be able to take it home, not have to play that 7th game. Mockit trying to set that one up in the corner. Here goes Turbo to a lot. They're going to send it off the backboard. Can anyone get up and into this one? Great touch from Pesci, clearing that one onto the wall. We'll see if he can create a goal on his side. Anyone's game as this clock is counting down. Siki crashing that one in front of the goal. Not going to be there. If we can have another crazy carry. The ball is hit 1. There's the overtime for game 6.
We've got our 3rd overtime of this series.
It's not double, Mike. It's more. Somebody posted the point distribution up in the chat up there. Casters are just losing it.
KAPOW alive. Sniper coming up huge with this shot right over Pesci. Pesci with the backflip misses it, and KAPOW in an unlikely finish keeps them alive.
That is sick casting, by the way. That is so good.
The first game 7 we've seen so far today.
So well done by Sniper, capitalizing on the hit from Mystic.
Yeah, don't listen to Mark. I saw Mark, by the way, Mike, I saw Mark during the game before this one. I looked over at the Twitch chat and I saw Marky Duda writing ! prize split in the chat, and then it didn't work, so he tried ! command so he could go and find out if there's like somewhere he can find out how much prize money there is.
2 overtime games so far in the series. They are down until the final minute of the match.
That was sick casting at the end of that though. That was so good.
Pushing it into
that was really good.
And then Sniper with that shot on net, clutching it for KAPOW, and we've got game 7.
Which roster C&J's better? Frost.
Such a pleasure to watch so far.
Amazing comeback from KAPOW here. Game 7, it could only happen on the most beautiful stadium they've built yet, Urban Knights Central.
Like it was, yeah, during the KAPOW Mockit series, Marky's trying to find out how much money you win for 1st and 2nd. He's like, nah, is it worth playing this game for 1st place? I mean, we've qualified for the next qualifier. Can I just go to bed? Is it worth it? Oh, $2,000. I suppose we should probably play this best of 7.
Turbo able to run that one out and away. Sniper hanging back on goals, going to be able to clear this one well back into Mockit territory. Within this first minute, Mystic is going to run that defense, kind of just pop it around a lot. Get it past Sniper. Great plays from Mystic, and now he's just got to beat out Turbo. Not going to be able to do it, though.
Oh, he's trying to find out land money.
Second touch from Turbo again, reading that one so well. And now he's got to set up onto the backboard. Can a lot dunk it? Not quite there. Great
classic Marky. He's always got his priorities right. He's always thinking about the task at hand. You know, he's made it to the grand finals of the qualifier #1, and he's thinking about the game that they've got ahead of them. Just kidding, he's trying to find out how much you win for the LAN, which they haven't even qualified for.
To take this final game 7.
A lot trying to press this one out of his own zone. Going to put it up to midfield. There's Turbo Pulse going to send it off the back wall. Pashy going to miss on the interference. The ball just lofted along the back wall. Sniper came up from the back.
Does that clock behind the goal change its time? Wait, it just did. Oh no, it changed. Hold on, I need to see this. I know it like spins, but like watch this clock. I swear it said 8 o'clock and then it changed.
The wire, and honestly, the first team to get
Right, it said 4 o'clock or something.
Position, just mentally.
Now it's oh, I'm trying to look at this clock. I need to see this.
Trying to press this one out of his own zone. Going to put it up to midfield. There's Turbo Pulse going to send it off the back wall.
Okay, the clock says 4 o'clock. Then we turn around. Now it says 10 o'clock. Does the clock like just change every time you look away? Is it like the Slender Man clock? So every time you turn it moves, you look back and it stays still.
He just parked the car, threw away the keys, and left because there's no hope of him for blocking it.
Well, it was tragic.
Sicky has been doing that a bit recently. He just sits in the net and he's like, I hope they hit it at me or they miss, because I ain't saving this. Sorry, I really just wanted to know that. I noticed the clock and I was like, I've played so many games in Urban Central, but I've never looked at the clock twice during the game in my life.
Almost getting that, forcing Mockit, starting to show that the defense can crumble.
Breakaway. Oh, it's lofted. Can anyone get up into this one? There's Mystic. But a lot in goal. A lot is the layer of the game, but there's the shot from Mystic gonna go in.
Well,
Siki helping him out, tying it up.
A lot. He should,
well saved by a lot getting up right in front of him. How did Mystic get that? What? He just brushed it. He stuck his hand out the window and like, you know, fingered the ball on the way by.
That maybe is one of the most beautiful goal steals I've ever seen. Just barely
Here, like chat, can you help me out with this? Can Mockit and KAPOW actually make a roster switch like that during the middle of RLCS? Are you allowed to change your roster in the middle of RLCS? What's the deal on that? Like, are they allowed to do that? Or is that going to be an issue?
That was close.
Mystic had a very poor hit that set that shot up for a lot. Mystic is going to have to get his bearings and recover because this is the final game for these two teams today. He really needs to step up.
You can change 2 out of 5 members. 60% of the roster has to be the same. Okay. So it's totally okay for Mockit to pick up Turbo, even though both of the teams that are involved in the swap are 3rd and 4th. That doesn't have an influence on it at all.
Some great interference from Siki, messing up the KAPOW players. They were not able to rotate fully onto offense.
Just it's a little bit weird. Little bit weird. How would it work, right? Listen to this, right? Imagine you have 5 players in your roster, and 2 of the subs have never played. Imagine if Turbo, a lot, and Sniper had 2 subs that they've never used, and then for the next qualifier they picked up, like, just for the sake of discussion, Pashy and Siki, and then they wanted to become Pashy, Siki, Turbo, kick a lot and Sniper, and then just because their 2 subs haven't changed, even though the subs have never played and they're never going to play, would they be allowed to do that? Because that's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Like, it kind of puts teams like in a really good spot who just have subs who are just like joke subs who are never going to play because they'll just get brought along for the ride, and meanwhile you can have one player who's the captain of the roster just kick his 2 teammates and get anyone else to join. That's kind of funny. I know rules are rules, James, but it's kind of like there's some weird situations that can arise, and I'm perfectly okay with it. It actually makes for some quite interesting storylines, so I'm all for that. As a content creator, storylines and, you know, rivalries and things like that, trash talk, are great. That's why they said any team that didn't sign up with 5 was dumb. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, just use your brothers and sisters, just anyone. Just get 5 people on that roster.
Of the series, there's a lot putting it off the backboard. Turbo Pulsar, here's Sniper, gonna put it off again.
Yeah, that would be classic Flipside, Mike.
And there's so many demos coming out from the
Now, what's going to happen to Flipside is they're going to win Qualifier 2, go into the LAN as the favorites, then Mike, Mark, and Cucks are going to go out drinking the night before, even though Cucks and Mark are too young to drink in North America, in USA rather, and they're going to no show for the LAN. And they're all going to be married to each other in a three-way relationship.
What a crazy final second.
Pretty sure you can do that in the US. Just like get married to two different people. Like get a triangular marriage in a you know, just like in a day.
So crazy. It's hard to math when you're on the caster booth, man. There's a shot from Siki. Next goal takes it. Clock doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Every game that happened before this, it all comes down to this moment, to this goal, to this stop. What's going to happen here? We see KAPOW on the offense. So there was Sniper coming flying in for the back. He wants it so bad. Mystic going to push this one up. There's a lot in goal. Able to clear it over to the side. Oh, anyone could take it at any moment.
Yes, both teams.
It's really well played by Turbo.
Turbo with the pass opportunity gets it to a lot.
I don't think the pass is the right move there. I don't think the pass is the right move. I really feel like he should have just been selfish and used the pass as like bait. Because he was so close to the goal, he could have just slammed it into the net. Or even gone for a fake. Alright, enjoy Game of Thrones, dude, manly. Oh, Mystic! Mistakes were made.
Mystic coming up huge. Oh my, off the backboard, or bounces off the corner.
James doesn't know what to say. He's like, oh me, oh my. If you don't love that, you don't love RLCS soccer. Turbo's gone. Turbo's gone. Literally gone from the team. There's no sign of Turbo Pulsa. Feels bad, man. Feels Bulbasaur. Mystics were made.
On Turbo Pulsa. Turbo Pulsa has to jump over him, and then Siki bodies him into the wall, leaving the goal entirely open from Mystic. What an incredible
great play.
What an incredible
great
series
play
all the way around. Oh my gosh.
My little heart cannot take it.
So
that
incredible.
was the most intense series in so many overtimes. Mockit just proved that they're the team that can be clutch.
Absolutely.
Mockit, well, Pashy's teams in the past have always been clutch. That's something that Pashy has always been good at.
We'll see what they've got to say about this. Scott, what did you guys think?
Well, we're finally entertained, right? This is what European Rocket League is all about. If you're new to Rocket League, well, welcome, because that's what it's all about. Scott Cole, Gibbs, Lawler. Wow.
I should have packed
Wow. Wow.
That was crazy. That was a great
wow. Yeah.
Like,
wow.
Game 2 or something like that. It just came out of his shell, and you saw like what he was fully capable of.
Oh, now you get to see Lawler's tie,
Pashy,
Michael.
His shoulders must be hurting because he was carrying hard. Woo.
Final game.
Pashy nailed his grind shots that game. Absolutely nailed his grind shots.
It has been amazing. Mockit is going to move with a big win here, 4-3.
And here we go with Pashy just at the start with wide open nets from KAPOW. They kind of threw away game one with these wide open shots, but Pashy had that great.
I'm surprised that. Oh, that goal was delicious. Delicious goal. How did that flick even work? That's incredible. Have I seen Leaf's tie yet? Of course. Who's Lawler, mate? He's the guy on the right next to Gibbs. Bam! What an absolute emission by Pashy.
From both sides was crazy, but Siki came in clutch there with that save.
That's something that you just can't read. Like that's.
Any news on Shalthus? I don't know any news on Shalthus. I'm sure you can find it from somebody. Yeah, see, I think that everybody was positioning themselves over to the right-hand side. Yeah, we see that Pashy was over there, waiting for that to clear by Sniper. Then Sniper just hit the post. Pashy's like, oh, okay.
He wasn't doing much this series. Came back in that game.
Do I think it only works like that in the Batmobile? Not necessarily. It's a wide car thing. You need to have a wide car. It's probably. It'll probably work on the Grog, for example.
Third place game. We have We Them Grills taking on